Hey, we're here at Independence, in Independence, Missouri. We're at Winterstone Golf Club, and I'm here with Daniel Tanner, and he's going to show us the clubs that he's playing today. How are you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Jalen.
Yeah. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you do? Where do you work?
Yeah. So I am the financial aid office coordinator at Midwestern Seminary here in Kansas City. And I've been playing golf since I was about 12, so for the last about 13, 14 years.
Cool. And what's your favorite golf moment or favorite golf accomplishment that you've had through your golfing career?
Yeah, so I'd say probably my favorite moment was my senior year of high school. Mm-hmm. We won the state tournament in our A1 school district.
Nice. What'd you shoot in that tournament?
I think I shot an 87 and a 91.
Oh, pretty good. Yeah. So what about individual like shot, or maybe like a hole-in-one or an eagle or a double eagle or something like that? What about that?
Yeah. I'd say probably another really proud moment of mine was the first birdie I ever got. I think I was about 13, and it was my first birdie ever, and I was so excited about it. I think I had like a hot dog, like a little piece of paper that you get your hot dog on, and yeah. I remember writing down my score and that moment on that piece of paper, and I still have it to this day.
Sweet, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's start to get to your clubs.
Cool.
Okay, so we're gonna start with your driver, right?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
So I've got a Titleist TS2.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great driver. It's got, obviously you see, a graphite shaft.
Yeah.
And it's a stiff. It's not a flex shaft. And so there's not a whole lot of whipping when you swing it.
Yeah.
But I really like it. It was a gift from a friend for my birthday last year.
Cool.
But I believe it's the 2019 edition.
Mm-hmm.
I think Titleist does every 2 years.
Yeah.
So this year, 2021, I think the new model came out. But yeah, it's treated me really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how far do you hit that thing?
I can hit it anywhere between 260 and 300.
Yeah, I've seen you get it out there. A couple 300-yard drives.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it pretty forgiving?
It is. I tend to slice it.
Okay.
If I'm gonna hit it wrong. Mm-hmm. But it is pretty forgiving. It has a really solid contact.
Cool.
When I hit it, it feels very satisfying, and so it's an enjoyable club.
Yeah. Awesome. So you go from that. What's your second longest club from there?
I'd say my second longest club is going to be my my 3 hybrid.
Yeah.
So I've got TaylorMade AeroBurners,
mm-hmm.
And I've got a 3 and I've got a 4 as well.
Okay.
And I haven't noticed too much difference between the two personally. So obviously, if I have a longer shot, I'm going to want to hit the 3. If I have a not so long shot, I'll hit the 4. But generally, they both hit about the same. Obviously, you're going to have different. You're going to have a different degree or different angle on the club face that gives you that extra distance. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy them. I actually hit them pretty well today, so I'm pretty satisfied.
Cool. So you played today. What did you shoot today?
I shot an 87.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good score.
Yeah.
So you hit those? Do you hit those off the tee at all, or do you just use them off the ground?
No, I generally hit these off the ground.
Okay.
So. I bet you could hit them off the tee, but I haven't done a whole lot of practice at the range to kind of see what that feels like.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to experiment on the course when I'm trying to get a score. But yeah, so it's typically just on the fairway.
Yeah. So basically, if it's a longer second shot into a par 4, or like a second shot into a par 5, you'll use one of these.
Yep.
How far do they go?
I can get them about 200, 210.
Okay. Yeah. And so it just depends on which one you use?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go 3 and 4, your hybrids, and then from 5 to pitching wedge, you have different kind of irons?
Yeah, so we'll start with my 5-iron.
Yeah.
So I've got a 5-iron. It's a TaylorMade AeroBurner as well.
Yeah.
The 5-iron is kind of tricky for me, so I don't tend to hit it like a normal fairway shot.
Yeah.
I tend to use my 5-iron if I'm next to some trees and with low-hanging branches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tend to hit my 5-iron as a low shot.
Like a punch out.
Like a punch out.
If you get in trouble
exactly.
or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got a really good distance for punching,
mm-hmm.
and it stays really low, and so I really like using it for that. I don't hit it super well on the fairway, but my next club up, my 6-iron, is my trusty 6-iron, my 6-shooter.
Yeah.
And I hit this really well off of the fairway.
Yeah.
And actually, if I'm teeing up on a hole that I can't quite hit a driver off of, just because that would be too much distance.
Yeah.
But I want to get it far enough out, I'll tend to hit my 6-iron.
So you won't use your 5-iron off the tee or anything like that?
No.
It's just mainly for punch outs?
Yep.
Yeah, and then so did the whole set with the hybrids and the irons come all together?
They did, yep.
Yeah, where did you get those?
I think I got them maybe at I'm trying to think. I got them probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I would say. I think I might have just gotten them online.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just came as a set from 3-iron to pitching wedge?
Yep.
Okay, so you go from pitching wedge to what club?
Yeah, so after the pitching wedge, I would say I'd use a 56 degree.
Okay, so that's like a sand wedge?
So that would be a sand wedge. So the 56 gets good loft, but it doesn't get quite as good a loft as my 60 degree.
Okay.
And so I would use this club if I'm too close to the green to use my pitching wedge, and I wanted to get some height on the ball.
Okay.
Then my next club down is going to be my 60 degree, which I tend to use in the sand trap.
Yeah.
And I'll use it if I'm in rough, some really tall rough right around the green that I can get some really good loft on.
So how do you decide between the two? Is it just if you want more loft, you go with the 60? If you want less loft and kind of have it roll out, you go with the 56?
Yeah, so what differentiates the two for me is depending on how far away I am from the pin.
Yeah.
So if I'm really close to the pin and I need to get a lot of loft,
yeah,
I'll use my 60. But if I'm a bit farther away from the green, I'll just use my 56.
Okay, and then where did you get those clubs?
You know what? I think my 60 degree, it's a Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think it was my dad's.
Okay.
And he gave it to me, and I actually think that my 56 degree was the same.
Okay.
So my dad had it. It's also a Cleveland CG15. And so yeah, kind of just inherited them.
Cool, cool. And then, so you go from there, obviously, so 60 is your highest lofted club, and then putter, right?
Yep.
So tell us about your putter.
Yeah, so my putter actually has a pretty interesting story. So in high school, we had a tournament at our school.
Yeah.
School tournament, and it was best ball. So I was in a group of 4 other guys, and the 4 of us were just playing best ball against some other different teams. And I actually won this putter off of a longest putt challenge. So I had the longest putt. I think it was about 35 feet. And at the end of the tournament, you know, we had to mark that down as proof, and then I ended up winning this putter. And
nice.
So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a white ice putter, and yeah, if you can see, the grip is very used,
right.
And so I am in need of a new grip.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the really fat grips. I do kind of like the
skinnier grips.
The skinnier grips,
yeah.
But this one is really worn down. I've had it for about probably 8-9 years.
Okay.
This putter.
Yeah.
And so it's treated me well. It's an Odyssey. Odyssey makes good putters, and so.
Do you like the feel of that putter?
I like the feel. I think for me the head is a little too small. I think I'd like something with a bigger head. Just
yeah, bigger mallet.
Bigger mallet gives me a better kind of visual for accuracy when I'm putting.
Yeah. So are you looking to change out any clubs in the coming years or months?
Yeah, I'd say in the coming years for sure. I'd like to replace my irons because I've had them for maybe 5 or 6 years.
Right.
And so I think I would definitely replace the irons and the putter probably first. And along with the irons, I think I would also get. I don't have an approach wedge. I don't have a gap wedge or a lob wedge, and so.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that you don't have a fairway wood too. Right? Would you want to get one of those, or have you used one of those in the past and just not liked one?
Yeah, I would like to get a fairway wood. Yeah, I don't have a 3-wood.
Yeah.
And so that is something that I've noticed in playing recently that I would really like to have, because there are holes that would be too short or unwise to hit a driver on.
Yeah.
For me, the next club that I'd feel comfortable hitting off the tee would be my 6 iron.
Okay,
And
yeah, so that's a pretty big gap.
The distance gap between those two clubs is pretty significant.
How far would you hit that 6 iron off the tee?
I can get it between 170 and 190.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what would you say, the last question I have for you, what would you say is your favorite club in the bag?
Yeah. I'd say my favorite club is actually my pitching wedge.
Really?
So I really like my pitching wedge because I can kind of do a lot of different things with it. So I use it a lot around the green. I like to punch the ball with it.
Yeah.
So if I'm kind of on the lip, but maybe the grass is too thick to put out of, I'll typically do a nice little punch shot with my pitching wedge. I can get some good distance out of it. I can hit it about 130.
Yeah.
120, 130, and so I really like it, kind of within that distance of the green. It gets good loft.
Yeah.
I can hit it really accurate. And so, yeah, it's a very versatile club.
So it's like a go-to club for you.
It's a go-to club for me. I think if I had more clubs that kind of hit all those different markers like what we were talking about,
right,
I think I'd probably use it less, but I've kind of had to learn to adapt and use that pitching wedge.
Sweet.
In those situations.
Okay. Yeah, well, thanks for coming on What's in Your Bag.
Yeah.
And really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep.